Welcome back. Now I want to tell you about a chilling mystery that begins in those hellish days after Hurricane Katrina hit New Orleans. Our investigative correspondent Drew Griffin has been looking into reports of a gruesome murder that New Orleans police say they can't even find a trace of. But deputies from faraway New Mexico who had come to help keep the peace are convinced the crime happened in one of the city's devastated hospitals. Here's what Drew Griffin has uncovered so far.
It is a mystery carried back to the dry desert of Albuquerque, New Mexico. A mystery of a murder victim that no one in New Orleans seems to know anything about. But these deputies from the Bernalillo County Sheriff's Department are convinced a woman, possibly they say a nurse, died a violent death inside this New Orleans hospital, and no one seems to be doing anything about it.
Every day. I think about that every day. Same thing, I had nightmares, just kind of went away, but I think about it every day.
Do you want to know what happened to that person you saw?
For her family's sake, I would really like to know.
Detective Anthony Medrano, Sergeant Paul Jacobs, and Deputy First Class Lawrence Tunna were part of a 40-man contingent rushed from Albuquerque to New Orleans in the hectic and lawless days after Katrina. Their mission was to help the New Orleans police. Divided into two tactical teams, when they arrived, they began patrolling the city's Garden District, arresting 5 looters. When rescue boats came under attack, the Albuquerque deputies began riding shotgun. The 2 tactical teams rescued 203 people off of roofs and porches, arrested or removed boats from looters. But it was the mission one team was given on September 5th that has haunted them ever since.
It was horrific to see. I think about it all the time.
They were sent to the flooded New Orleans Memorial Medical Center. The hospital had been evacuated days before. No one should be inside. But spotters found boats, possibly used by looters. The Albuquerque tactical team was to clear them out. The teams arrived by boat, the hospital still surrounded by water. They were here prepared to face looters inside, but what they actually found inside that emergency room, they say, was horrifying. Immediately upon entering, they began seeing the dead.
There was one right in the lobby area, and as we cleared the first few floors, there was various bodies inside some of the smaller rooms.
Bodies left in the evacuation, on beds, on floors, some wrapped in sheets, others just left. A total, according to the hospital, of 45 corpses, and all of them, again, according to the hospital, patients who did not survive the ordeal or died just before Katrina struck. But when the tactical unit got to the emergency room, one body, they say, was not a patient who'd been left to die.
It appeared that her clothing had been ripped off, and it looked like she died violently.
It was the body of a young woman in nurse's scrubs. Her skin decomposing made it difficult to determine her race, her pants pulled down to her ankles. She was lying face up on an examining table, and her head was in a pool of blood.
Seemed like she had been shot.
Shot. Not blunt force from a fall or anything like that. She looked like she had been shot there on that bed.
To me, that's what it appeared like.
Deputy Lawrence Tunna saw the same woman.
On the floor in a pool of blood, obviously died a violent death.
According to their boss, Sheriff Darren White, a total of 5 deputies reported the same scene. And that is where the mystery begins, because the sheriff here in Albuquerque, New Mexico, finds himself and his deputies trying to help solve a murder that the New Orleans Police Department can find no evidence ever happened. NOPD spokesman Captain Marlon DeFillo would not appear on camera, but told CNN there was no reported homicide at Memorial Medical Center, and he says NOP detectives were inside Memorial on a number of occasions and did not see any homicides. Captain DeFillo denied CNN's request to talk with those New Orleans police detectives whom he says were inside Memorial. DeFillo's account, however, is backed up by the Orleans Parish coroner, who says while there is a remote chance a murder victim's body has not yet been processed, right now he has no evidence of a murder at Memorial. and thinks the Albuquerque detectives, quote, just got it wrong. Back in Albuquerque, Sheriff Darren White concedes his deputies took no photos of the crime scene, but he says he believes his deputies and says he would not be surprised if in the chaos after Katrina, the New Orleans Police Department somehow missed a murder case.
As a detective, no matter where you are in this country, you become the voice of the victim. And her family will never know what happened to her. And that's going to play on any good law enforcement officer.
He and his deputies are coming forward, he says, not to criticize, but to help solve a mysterious murder they are convinced was committed inside Memorial Hospital. And Paula, Tenet Healthcare, the owners of Memorial Medical Center, did comment to CNN for this report, saying they couldn't confirm any of it. A spokesman saying that the company knows of no employee deaths or reported rapes, saying that support is unconfirmed and uncorroborated by their facts. In fact, that spokesman says we're just not aware of this. Paula?
Drew Griffin, thanks so much for the update.